Please welcome Bernadette and Lucy.
So here we have Lucy Scott. Lucy's what you would call a little pocket rocket. Okay, so she's gets her plan and then she absolutely goes for it. And what I really love about Lucy is she really takes on the process and she works at getting what she wants. She currently is running 3 strategies. So she's got a flip strategy with a JV. She's got a micro development going on, and she's also got a new family home, which she's just bought in Surrey Hills. But before, Surrey Hills in Melbourne that is, before she did all that, she and her husband Daz actually sold their family home. That was a pretty brave thing to do.
We tried to put together a JV and just found it wasn't working. I think because I didn't have enough credibility to my name at that point. So given that the market was really hot at that point, it was just a matter of, all right, stuff it, we're doing this. Because there's no other way to do it, and that's what we had to do.
Absolutely. And so, but you have now, do you want to just talk us through maybe the Woodend or Kyneton project firstly?
Yep. So after we sold our house, I was looking for a micro development strategy based on our discussions, and bid on several homes in Melbourne and just could not make the numbers work. I was being outbid by developers or other builders who had much lower margins than mine or who were able to do it much cheaper than I was able to do it. I just couldn't get the numbers to work. So this was during lockdowns. It was just a crazy time. So I had to look outside of Melbourne, and that's when I was speaking to Mary, and Mary said, well, have you looked at Kyneton, because it's really close to the train station, a lot of people are moving up here, and they can get into Melbourne in 45 minutes. So okay, I'll look at Kyneton. And that's what I did.
Awesome. Was that Mary Newland or Mary Curtis?
Sorry, Mary Newland. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And so, what are you building there? What did you buy and what are you building there?
I bought a very disgusting 1950s clinker. It had hoarders in it. It hadn't been touched for many years. I heard stories about the neighbour that used to live there. I didn't want to go inside it. It was gross. But it was actually locked down in metro Melbourne, but not in regional Melbourne. So I had to get Mary to go to or check out the place for me. She gave me the tick, so I bought it without even seeing it.
Awesome. So, yes, great teamwork. So with a micro development strategy, generally with the house, what you're trying to do is renovate it so you can really get back your investment in the piece of land, and then building on the back is the bonus. Yep. So what are you building on the back?
I've actually put some thought into this. I was just discussing this earlier with Ali. But I've got 2 options. One is I can get a relocatable home onto it. However, I've got a very tight building envelope. So I'm finding it difficult to find a house that will maximise that building envelope. There is one, but I still have to change a floor plan and extend it, blah, blah, blah. But that's an option.
I can tell Elizabeth Gordon's been at you.
No, I was at this before. Liz and I bonded over relocatable homes. But that is $160,000 for that relocatable home. So it's not bad. I mean, there's extra to rewire, replumb, re-roof, blah, blah, blah. But it's not bad. But if the house is inadequate, it can end up costing a lot more. So I'm also now looking at, I found a volume builder who can maximise a building envelope for me. So that's my other option.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And so, so let's just mention what your secret sauce is.
I have a lot of secret sauces. Which one?
The upcycling one.
Oh, upcycling. Well, that really depends on the project. Like, I've only been able to upcycle in this one because the character fit the home. It's harder to upcycle if you want a plush, new, fancy luxe, but with kitchens maybe. But where are we? Yeah, so that island bench is a $100 sideboard. So that was a way we could save money in the kitchen. I painted it, I put on new handles, and that was it. Saved myself a couple grand.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I just bought some bathroom vanities, which were hardwood, either bedside tables or that one. That was $200. I painted it and installed it as a vanity.
Beautiful. And for an Airbnb, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's character. It matches the heritage of the house and also the area. So I was able to get away with a lot of upcycling in this house.
Yeah, beautiful.
Which is now operating as an Airbnb, and everything in the house is pretty much purchased on Marketplace.
Fantastic. Now, the latest purchase?
The PPOR in Surrey Hills. Do we have photos of that
I don't think
one?
we have photos
Okay.
of those. Yeah.
That's another heritage. So Bernadette and I are at odds on this because she doesn't like heritage. I actually love heritage because it's
Did
less...
I say I didn't like it?
You did. You said never buy something with a heritage overlay.
Oh, no, not a heritage overlay. What's the word? Significant.
Oh, yeah.
Heritage.
Okay.
I live in a heritage overlay.
Yeah. I love heritage because it knocks out developers. So because this house has a heritage overlay, and I actually love the character of the house, so I wouldn't have knocked it down, obviously, but I didn't have anyone to compete with at the auction because this is Surrey Hills, which is an upmarket area in Melbourne. Everybody has money. Everybody can afford to buy a place that's renovated. They don't want a place that's not renovated. The floor plan on this place is not great. It's actually got a 3-metre wide living space, which is not going to work. So I think because of these issues, we didn't have anyone to compete with. So we got it for I consider a really good price, thanks to Scott as well. I would have been a lot more emotional and spent a lot more money. And another key find in this place is I've got 11-foot high ceiling to roof. So there's hidden livable space that I can convert to extra living space for a very cheap price.
Beautiful. And so the reno on that property?
At this stage, it's in stages.
Yep.
So everything requires a permit. So at this stage, I'm doing stage 1, and I'll finish that on Friday when I move in on Friday afternoon. So I've reconfigured a bit of the floor plan. So I've created a master bedroom. I've had to actually cut up the dining room, which means I lost a ceiling rose, which I'll have to fix, which I was devastated about. I have done the ensuite, polished the floors, carpets, painting, all the plasterwork, because it's lath plaster. So that was a lot, 2 weeks of work just fixing up the cracks and the plaster on that. And then I'll paint it this week and we're ready to move in.
Beautiful.
And electrical, new lights.
Awesome. Well, listen, if you want to know more about Lucy's projects, come and have a chat to her. Thanks for sharing.
Or get on my Instagram.
Oh, yes. We'll share the Instagram links.
Share the Instagram links.
Thanks so much, Lucy.